speakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, amid a brewing rift between top PDP Laban officials, President Rodrigo Duterte tells his party mates to stay united. And the ruling party wants President Duterte to run as vice president, but Malacanang says the decision is up to God. PDP Laban Vice President for External Affairs, Secretary Raul Lambino, joins us later in the program. And the President certifies the measure creating a Department for Overseas Filipinos as urgent. Senator Joel Villanueva will join us in the program. So let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Senator Joel Villanueva. Senator Villanueva, welcome to the source. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Good morning, Pinky. It's a great honor and privilege to be back on your show. Hi.
Always good to have you, Senator. Umpisahan na po natin itong Department of Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos. This is Senate Bill 2234, which you authored, and also co-authored by Senator Bongo and I believe Senator Revilla.
Yes, there are about 11 bills, Pinky, authored by Senator Revilla, Senator Bongo, Senator Mig Subiri, and a lot others. And this is a desynchronization of the 11 bills that were filed in the Committee on Labor and Human Resource Development. We reported this out, Pinky, and yesterday we got a chance to finally defend the news that you just mentioned, that it was already certified by the President as urgent and priority measure.
So just to be clear on this, ano ho ba talaga ang magiging pangalan na? Department of Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos ho ba?
Yes, we discussed the title as Department of Filipino Overseas, but during the course of the hearings and public consultations, a lot of our OFW groups were asking to replace the title with the Department of Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos, and that would be consistent with the Migrant Workers Act and other measures already being tackled. Some of the measures have passed into laws. So we'll be consistent with that, Department of Migrant Workers. But you know how it is, Pinky, during a deliberation. A senator or a member of the Senate would probably propose an amendment, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so sa ngayon, ang tawag po sa kanya Department of Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos. Meron na ho ba itong acronym, sir?
Wala pa, but somehow yun po yung tawag. A lot of my colleagues are saying they would prefer yung Department of Filipino Overseas. So we'll go from there. But I think the more important feature of this new measure is that we're building a new house, a house that will only cater to the needs and concerns of our overseas Filipinos, especially our migrant workers. And we're lumping up all these agencies. For example, yung OMWA, yung CFO, yung Polo ng DOLE, yung ILAB, yung National Reintegration Center for OFWs, National Maritime Polytechnic, yung International Social Service Office na nasa DSWD, yung ATN na nasa DFA, and then of course yung POEA, which would be the heart of the department, and yung OWA as an attached agency.
So, Senator, just to really look into this, because what has come out is that there are actually so many departments involved when it comes to migrant workers and overseas Filipinos. Ilan ho ba yan na so far, the ones that you mentioned, will be lumped into one as the Department of Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos?
Yes, Pinky, you are right. And if you talk to a lot of our overseas Filipinos, whether they are migrant workers or residing abroad, that has been the perennial problem. In fact, during our hearings, even members of the Senate are already confused. Saan ba tayo pupunta pag ganito? Pag repatriation, pagka documented ka, dito ka sa OWA o sa POEA, dito ka sa DFA kung ikaw ay undocumented. So ito yung mga gusto nating pagtuunan ng pansin na isang bahay na lang, anything that concerns overseas Filipinos, whether you're a migrant worker or missionary ka or nakapangasawa ka ng isang foreigner, isang tahanan na lang yung iyong pupuntahan. And let me point out yung importance of ensuring na merong isang bahay. Kasi kung may isang bahay po tayo, for example, when you talk about reintegration, which is one of the key features of this measure, alam natin na yung full cycle of reintegration mula sa pre-deployment, habang nandun ka, merong registry of skills, pagka ni-repatriate ka, at pag bumalik ka dito sa Pilipinas, ang gusto natin, syempre, you're far better than you were here, no, before you left the country, dahil sa haba ng panahon na iyong ginugol. Gusto rin natin na Pinky na hindi lang yung one size fits all na reintegration program, yung usual na naririnig natin na nagkaroon ng tindahan, nagkaroon ng babuyan, etc. But we wanted to expand that program to the point na, for example, if you are a worker in a university outside the country, you can have this opportunity na makapagturo sa ating mga state colleges and universities and stuff like that, no? So yun yung mga gusto natin na i-impose dito sa ating bagong bahay na itinatayo.
Just to follow up on that, because I think it was Senator Amy Marcos who said na parang meron pong turf war among the departments. I think what she meant by that is that certain departments have different mandates, hence funding as well. And it's as if ayaw ata pakawala. Ano ho ba talaga yung katotohanan dito, Senator Joel?
We could just imagine, Pinky, the challenge and the challenges that we are facing. About 7-8 agencies yung gusto mong dalhin sa isang bahay, yung iba ayaw, yung iba okay lang pero they wanted to protect their turf, and that has been the problem as well, no, yung turfing na tawag. Sino yun dito, nagkaroon ng kabulyasuhan, turuan kung sino ang may problema. For example, yung database system, Pinky, yung batas na yan, it's been around for more than 20 years. And yet, yung registry alone, hindi magkasundo, hindi nagsisynchronize. For example, those who were repatriated during the pandemic, ibang-iba yung listahan ng DFA, ibang-iba yung listahan ng OWA and other government agencies. So with that, makikita natin na itong mga nararanasan nating problema sa ngayon ay masusolusyonan natin yan kung merong isang tahanan na talagang tatayo as an accountable department, the cudgels in ensuring that our overseas Filipinos are being taken care of.
So tell us who or which departments yung ayaw pong sumama dito or nag-hesitate na sumama dito sa isang bahay para sa mga migrant workers at overseas Filipinos. Sabi niyo po kasi kanina yung iba ayaw eh.
Kasi Pinky, walang aamin na ayaw nila, no? But you can just feel in their
body language,
the way they talk, the way they position themselves, yung turfing, etc. Mararamdaman mo talaga yon. But syempre, sasabihin nila, ito yung direksyon ng administrasyon. This is a priority measure of the president and they're supporting it. Pero they will give you different excuses as to why they cannot do this or ipasama yung kanilang mga empleyado or ma-absorb ng new department. For example, ang POEA, ito yung magiging heart of the department considering yung functions nila, no, from licensing of the recruitment agencies and manning agencies. Ito yung industry regulation, ito yung naggagawa ng employment facilitation from evaluation, processing, and itong mga employment contracts. Tapos yung workers protection nasa kanila din. So from pre-employment orientation at iba pa, no? So nung una, it is an attached agency at mas malakas yung gusto nila na they will just be an attached agency. But can you imagine a house na yung napaka-importante na, for example, yung kitchen dining area kung saan kumakain, nagluluto ng pagkain. Pero itong kitchen at dining area ay nandun sa labas ng tahanan, hindi wala siya dun sa loob, no? So ito yung mga binabanggit natin na napaka-challenge, and we are glad that now the President signed this certification na ito ay talagang napakahalaga at ito ay a certified priority measure. And we're hoping and praying na in the coming days or weeks, kung hindi man mapasa, because you're only talking about 3 session days, Pinky, no? So we are positive na marami sa ating mga kasamahan sa Senado ay susuporta.
Let's go into practical, siguro day-to-day challenges, Senator, para maintindihan po ng ating mga manggagawa who want to go abroad. Siguro yung una is, mapoprotektahan ho ba yung mga manggagawa laban sa illegal o fly-by-night recruiters? Una po yun. And the second question I want to ask about that is, in practicality terms is, mapapadali ho ba ang proseso ng pag-a-apply ng isang manggagawa para po magtrabaho abroad pagka matuloy po itong Department of Migrant Workers and Overseas Filipinos?
That's a very good question, Pinky, and I think it's important to note that during the hearings, yan yung isa sa mga una nating tinalakay, no? You look at the data for the past 5 years, 295 na cases were filed and only 20 plus yung na-convict. In fact, the past 2 years, 2 lamang yung convicted illegal recruiter. So yan yung isa sa gusto nating pagtuunan ng pansin, at dahil meron tayong departamento na tututok dyan, nais natin magkaroon ng mga regional offices, no, ng ating department. Kung meron na tayong regional offices sa 13 regions natin at nagpa-function ito very well, may tao na nakatutok po dito, then we will be able to have this working efficiently. And you imagine if we have pre-region adjudication na offices, ang laking bagay po niyan, no? Dun sa sinasabi niyo po na mapapabilis yung proseso, kung meron din po tayong sariling department, every now and then na i-evaluate kaagad itong mga kinakailangan at nais nating ipatupad na polisiya. For example, you were talking about yung processes, no? Dun sa POEA na lumabas doon sa hearing, they're asking so many things. For example, yung transcript of records, yung lisensya sa PRC, yung diploma sa kolehiyo, etc. Nagkaroon ka ng lisensya sa PRC, ibig sabihin, pinatake ng board exam, gumraduate ka ng kolehiyo.
Kailangan mo pa ng diploma?
Ipakita siguro yung diploma, yung transcript of records, etc. Things like that. And this will be addressed if you have one department, one house looking at it perennially and regularly evaluating their processes.
Just to argue on that, Senator Joel, not to belabor really the point, but it's as if pwede naman hong gawin na yun ngayon. Hindi ho ba? Sabihin po natin yung mga requirements that seem unnecessary, as you mentioned a while ago. You don't need a new department for them to take out the requirement of a diploma that can actually be done right now. Hindi ho ba? Bakit parang, pero pag meron tayong Department of Migrant Workers, makikita po ito, mababantayan. But right now, they can already do that.
Pinky, I have to admit, I was once a doubter, no? Na pwede naman gawin. Ano ba yung mga hindi kayang gawin ngayon na tanging ang departamento lamang ang makakagawa? A lot of things came out during the hearing at yung bottom line talaga, Pinky, is everyone's confused kung saan sila pupunta. Sino ba ang may hawak nito? For example, the funding ng ATN, yung access to national. Kanino ba naka-lodge ito? Saan yung pondo nito? At sino yung pwedeng maka-access dito? Yung OWA funds, para lang ba talaga ito sa mga documented OFWs o migrant workers? paano doon sa mga hindi. Things like that ay ma-address nitong problema na ito dahil merong isang tututok at lahat po ng sitwasyon nila, sila man ay i-repatriate, may emergency, sila man ay nakapangasawa ng banyaga sa ibang bansa tapos biglang binubugbog sila or kinukulong at hindi nila mapagkatiwalaan yung host country. May kasiguruhan na may isang department na tatawagan nila at pupuntahan na mayroon pong makakatulong sa kanila.
Okay, timeline for this. I know you said you only have 3 session days left. Palagay niyo ho, kailan po ito maisa sa batas? Maipapasa at maisa sa batas.
I wish I could tell you, Pinky, yung timeline. But for us, ready tayo any time of the day. If there's a need for us to defend this measure 24/7, we will do that. But of course, we respect the timelines of our colleagues in the Senate. I'm just happy, Pinky, that the President signed this as a priority and an urgent measure. We have 3 more days to go, and we have been very efficient the past 2 weeks now, Pinky. We have been very efficient. Wala nang break, pati yung merienda, dire-diretso pa rin yung session namin. So hopefully mapasa na ito. Tingin naman natin na ready rin ang ating mga departamento, ating mga agencies para dito sa batas na ito.
Very quickly, Senator, I hope you don't mind, I want to get your very quick reaction dun sa nangyari po noong weekend, yung halos 500 mga OFWs ang na-stuck sa NAIA dahil po dun sa naging temporary deployment plan sa Saudi.
Yeah, yung sa Saudi. Yes, Pinky, because of the fact that DOLE found parang gray area doon sa insurance ng ating mga kababayan sa kanilang mga quarantine protocols, etc. Parang gusto nila hindi malinaw yung patakaran as to whether who will shoulder the cost, no? And that's about 47,000 pesos per OFWs. And lately naliwanagan ito, kaya na-lift na po yung ban at sigurado na po na yung employer or yung recruitment agency ang sasagot nito. It's just unfortunate na naapektuhan yung ating mga kababayan.
I guess my question, Senator, is did it really have to come to this? Andun na po sila. Nasa airport na po sila. Tapos bigla na lang, ay sandali lang hindi kayo makakaalis. Kailangan hubang dumating pa sa ganong sitwasyon yung ating po mga kababayan at hindi po naayos prior to?
Yeah, you're right. That's unfortunate, no, na hindi ito naging malinaw, and that's what we have been discussing and ensuring na once we have this department, yung deployment po, sisiguro natin kung saan napapadala yung ating mga OFWs. Are they protected? Yung mga contracts po sa Middle East, napakalaking problema until now. Yung kafala system, kuha yung Pinky, is that hindi na sila napaalis na pating hudon, sila pala yung pagbabayaran ng 47,000. And can you imagine kung wala silang 47,000 at pababalikin lang din po sila. So somehow naging blessing in disguise din po na ensure na talagang yung insurance, yung mga quarantine protocols ay hindi sasagutin ng mga OFWs.
Senator Joel Villanueva, sir, maraming. I still have a lot of questions. I hope we can guest you again. Thank you for your time.